Hey, it's Mark here from Make Him Yours, and today I'm talking about a topic that you've been requesting for a while. It's something I speak with clients about a lot, but something I've yet to put on the channel. It's how to date with chronic illness. When and how do you tell the guy about your condition, whatever it is. Don't forget to download the first chapter of my book, now available for free in the description, and I'll see you on the other side of this. All right, welcome to today's video. Now, it's never easy to talk about chronic illness, but if it's something that can't change, then it's something that needs to be dealt with. Now, I've coached clients with rheumatoid arthritis, Ross River fever, MS, but it doesn't have to be anything that complex. I've also coached clients who have stretch marks or burns that they're extremely unsure and insecure about. And whatever that is, if it's a big deal to you, then it matters. And at some point, the guy needs to know about it. Now, the question I always get is, when do I tell him? When do I reveal this bad fact about myself, Mark? And what I always tell clients is the more important question is not when do I tell him, but how. In other words, when telling a man about some sort of chronic condition, your delivery is more important than your timing. People believe about you what you believe about yourself. There's people in the world who believe that their freckles mean that they're not a catch. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They let it block them from finding love. Then there's people in the world with literally terminal illnesses and 6 months to live who are finding love right now. I've seen it firsthand myself. No matter what your condition, from freckles to serious fibromyalgia, you must uproot the belief that having blank means you are not a catch. You are a fucking catch. And you've got to start believing it. Because if you don't, it's not going to matter when you tell him. The how is going to come across that you believe it's so unattractive, and he's going to feel that and lose attraction too. Now, I get that this isn't easy. There's a lot of groupthink stigma around a lot of conditions, but you must overcome this because it will come across in how you tell the guy. Here's 2 things you can do before you go and tell the guy to begin. Number 1, as hard as this is, you've got to figure out what you're grateful for about the condition and how the condition has helped you. For example, if you can't have children, you might sit down and realize, well, I've actually attracted men who are more partner orientated. I've attracted men who are more open-minded. Or maybe I've formed great connections with single dads. If you have herpes, you might have found that you're much more easily able to filter the people who are serious about you and want to get to know you versus the people who aren't. If you have a terminal illness, you've probably found that it's given you the ability to cherish every single moment of your life. Whatever condition you're struggling with, write down 10 ways it's helped you and 10 things you're grateful for having it. And number 2 is know your facts. If the disease or condition is serious, and especially if it's contagious, then the guy's going to have a lot of preconceived ideas from friends or society about what that condition means. It's important you know your facts so you can tell him the reality of the situation, and you can share the real facts and the real reality away from the silly stigma around whatever it is. Now, what about when to tell him? When should you bring it up? Well, generally speaking, the earlier the better. After all, if you truly believe that you're an amazing catch despite your condition, timing won't matter. And the second point is you don't want to be too random about it. It's best to bring it up on a natural thread of conversation rather than pulling it out of the blue. For example, if you have stretch marks that you hate, you wouldn't randomly bring it up at dinner. But if the conversation turned to body insecurities or big life lessons, it might flow into a natural thread where you could bring that up. Or something more serious. If you have multiple sclerosis, again, you're probably not going to bring it up at random on the first date unless the conversation turns to something like key life lessons or most important moments in your life. All right, so how do you actually have the conversation? How do you bring it up? Well, there's 4 key principles to doing this. Number 1, bring it up naturally. As I spoke about, it should thread naturally into the conversation when the timing is appropriate. Number 2, show your gratefulness for the condition. Now, this can be challenging and you've got to use the list that you would have written earlier, but you must communicate your gratefulness and appreciation. The man is going to find that attractive. You didn't choose this condition. It's not your fault that you have it, but it is your responsibility to handle it. And this anti-victim mindset, this taking responsibility mindset, is going to be very attractive to a guy. It shows you can get through adversity and make the best of anything. Number 3, if you need to explain facts, do it. There's a lot of stigmas around certain conditions and the guy might have questions. So once you've told him, this is a good time to do it and know the questions that he's likely to ask. And number 4, believe you're a catch. When you believe you're a catch, he will too. Your condition is nothing to be ashamed of and you still deserve and are worthy of love despite it. Okay, so after all this, and it's a lot to take in, you're probably wondering, well, how the hell does one actually do that, Mark? How does that happen? Well, I want to help you with that. I've chosen perhaps the most difficult chronic condition to tell a guy about, HIV, and I've got Jamia in to give you a demonstration of how that might look.
Yeah, so I'd probably say getting over that level of social anxiety would have been my biggest challenge. What about yourself?
Do you really want to know?
Oh, yeah?
All right. Well, before I met my ex-partner, I was dating a guy for, I don't know, a couple of months. It was nothing serious. We were just having fun, and it was supposed to be kind of relatively exclusive, but turns out it wasn't. And he was kind of having fun with a few girls and didn't tell me. So we stopped seeing each other, and a few months later, I just went to get a routine blood check and HIV positive.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. As you can imagine, I was pretty much shattered at the time.
Oh my god. But we've kissed and stuff. Can't I catch it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you can't catch it from kissing. It's transferred by blood, not saliva.
Right. Wow, like you're so open with this. Do you tell everyone?
Oh, no, only if it's relevant. But at the same time, I'm not exactly going to hide it because there's nothing I can do about it. So if someone doesn't want me for that, then, they can go elsewhere. And look, this is going to sound strange, but I kind of see it as a bit of a gift in my life. Yeah. See, before I was partying and, drinking, smoking, taking drugs, and basically just abusing my body, like wasting money and time on people that I didn't even like. But after I found out about it, pretty much turned my life around. So I fixed my diet, I started exercising, I reconnected with a lot of my old passions, and it might sound weird, but I actually feel so much healthier now than I ever did before. I have a great circle of close friends. I feel grateful for pretty much everything. And plus, with treatment the way it is at the moment, I get literally no symptoms. So.
Oh my god. So, do you have to take heaps of meds and stuff?
I've got a couple that I take every day. Yeah.
Right. Wow. And but wait, didn't you say, because you're in a relationship, so your ex had it as well?
No, he didn't, and he still doesn't.
Really?
So, yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but as long as you're taking the right medication and you're having safe sex and you're being cautious and using your precautions, it's actually really, really rare to transmit the disease. So you're way more likely to catch it from a random that doesn't know that they have it than with a partner when you're using precautions. See, my partner, he was really open-minded, and even after 2 years of unprotected, he never ever caught it. Unprotected, yeah, never caught it at all.
That's amazing. I never knew. Yeah, I never knew any of that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it still has its hard times.
Yeah.
I hate going to the hospital and having everyone treat me like I'm just toxic. But, I know that they have to do that for themselves. I would love to take all the positives away without actually having it, but, you can't win them all. So, at the end of the day, I'm a really lucky girl who's happy to be alive and, have my puppy.
Huh. Wow. Wow. you want to get some ice cream?
I would love to.
Well, that's the video. Thank you for watching. It might be one you want to watch through a couple of times just to wrap your head around the concepts. But hopefully between those pre-telling concepts, the what to tell and how to tell concepts, and then the demonstration, you've got a really good idea of how to remember that your chronic illness does not mean you're less of a catch, and how to communicate that to a guy so that you can find the love you deserve. Well, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, comments, questions in the space below. I'd love to hear them. Give the video a thumbs up, hit the big red subscribe button. Like I say, I'd love to hear your comments on this one. It's a really important video to me, so let me know. Don't forget to download the first chapter of my book, available now free in the description, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.
It's like a dream when we both get together and feel